What's going on, guys? We are back today with another showcase video for you. And I want to set the stage a little bit today. So, the year's 1980. It's December 26th, just after Christmas. We've got military men at a base, and what happens? They see lights in the sky, and they're told, go check it out. That shouldn't be happening. It was an unidentified object. They go out into the forest, into a clearing. Foggy, dark night. What do they see? Well, they see a craft. It comes down into a clearing. One of the men walks up, sees the writing on the side of the craft, and he doesn't understand what it is. It's unidentified writing, looking almost like hieroglyphs. He reaches out and touches the craft. All of a sudden, in his mind's eye, shoots zeros and ones. And he sees these numbers repeating for over 30 years. What the heck is going on with this, guys? So, today we are checking out what most of you probably don't know this story or have never heard of it, but I am well versed in the Rendlesham Forest incident, and I do love this incident. I think it is a very famous incident with alien encounter, and honestly, I think this incident tells a little more than it leads on, and I am going to touch on it briefly for those of you just because I love doing this on this channel. I think you guys know my fascination with aliens and lore. Let me go check out so real quick, the back of this card. I guess I can't do it from here. So we can see a little bit more about this, what they put. 1980, Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk turned into a real X-Files when a mysterious series of lights were spotted. Convinced they stumbled upon something out of this world. Astronomers, however, yada, yada, yada. Servicemen found strange marks in the forest. So they found more than marks. That's not accurate. Sure, human perception under stress, especially in a forest at night, can be unreliable, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so anyway, the guy who touched the craft saw these zeros and ones in his mind's eye. This is 1980, so he didn't know what it meant. He thought he was going crazy. He didn't talk about it. He didn't tell anybody about it. He didn't want to be, court-martialed and thrown out of whatever military branch he was in. So he hid the information. It drove him crazy. He ended up writing in a journal, basically out the series of numbers, zeros and ones, and it was like 16 to 18 pages of zeros and ones. He left it for like 30 years. Not until 2011 did he finally make the connection that it was possibly binary code that he had in his mind that he'd been seeing all these years. And he took it and got it examined. And what they found was a message encoded into the binary. And it said something like planetary exploration, yada, yada, yada. And it gave a bunch of coordinates to specific locations on the planet. What fascinates me, though, and I'm going to segue off onto Safari real quick, is it basically ties to one of the coordinates tied to the pyramids at Giza here. And you can see I actually fell down this rabbit hole earlier today at lunch and after I saw the card drop and I looked into it and was like, man, I want to look into this a little more because this story always fascinated me. Well, this guy actually at least he thinks he cracked the code on one of these, and it correlates to the fact that the plates, so in this area, he realized that this golden latitude would have been back in 1980, right? So this coordinate that he was given, and it shifts. So it shifts by like 2 centimeters every year due to the African plate. So plate tectonics shifts this area roughly 2 centimeters. So he couldn't have faked this incident basically hoaxed this, because back then, even in 2011, we didn't have accurate enough survey data to prove this location. So if you look, it lines up perfectly. And what does it create? It creates the Fibonacci spiral perfectly. So the inverse alpha of the fine structure constant. So it calculates out identical to the fine structure constant coefficient. And if any of you guys are familiar, basically it's considered the God number, 137 dot yada, yada, yada. And Carl Sagan back in the day actually predicted, you can see it right here, that the number 137 and the number of decimals following it is the quintessential candidate for the crown jewel of interstellar message authentication. So basically saying that the more decimal places out that you can calculate, the more advanced the civilization. So you could essentially measure a civilization's technology based on this constant. And the fine structure constant is related to electromagnetism. It's actually deals with atoms and electrons. So there's some of his zeros and ones. One of the things that interests me, though, was the fact that, where'd it go? Sorry, I know I'm getting off track here a little bit, but you guys can skip if you're not interested in this stuff. Where'd it go? So it's basically the idea that these creatures could be, or these aliens could be from the future. And the fact that they've come back to the past to leave important information on us, and it ties to a specific date and time. So it proves that could not have, that couldn't have been faked, because you have, the way everything shifts, you have to have a specific, basically that 1980 that time frame when we receive that coordinate, it shifts every year. So that 2 centimeters adjusts those coordinates every year. So the fact that he received that in 1980, that specific coordinate, which is now proven based on current survey data to be accurate, if you go back, measure backwards 2 centimeters to 1980, that it was dead nuts on that coordinate. So basically showing that Fibonacci spiral and how everything ties together. It's super interesting. But check this article out if you guys are interested. It's the Rendlesham Forest Incident.com. They have this article, and you can see how it correlates with the pyramids precisely. I mean, down to the 8th decimal place. It's that accurate with the lining of the pyramids here. So super interesting. Basically saying it proves the fact that retrocausality is possible. So if you're not sure what that means that this could prove time travel, that something has come from the future, placed information upon us, an event that basically happens before the information. So basically the event happens first, the cause happens before the effect. So that kind of blows my mind here. But anyway, let me get back to the game, because I know I really sidetracked on you guys. But I fell down the rabbit hole today, and I was super interested in this information, because this could prove, if anybody looks into this, that potentially time travel is real. These could be us in the future. One of the things in that message that was decoded had the year 8100 in it for some reason. So I'm wondering if these things come back from the future from the year 8100. It's very interesting. Anyway, enough about that. We'll go on to the deck now. Sorry about that. We've got Roswell Incident in this deck as well. If played between 2 espionage, your space cards, wherever they are, gain 16 until played. So this card right here wants the Roswell Incident in the deck to get plus 40 each turn. Planet X, we got a 9-9 split here, so we can do Goatman. And Planet X works perfect for 9 space cards, giving them all nice buffs. Went with the espionage package of 5 eyes. So you can see when played, 5 of your random espionage cards, wherever they are, gain 25 perm. So we went with some cheaper ones here just because we want to play them with Roswell Incident. So I have to play something like maybe Enigma Machine with Violet and then have Roswell in between. And then you get that 16 until played there. Fritz, when returned, your espionage cards, wherever they are, cost -1 until played. If your deck has 5 or more espionage, they gain plus 10 until played. So that's a nice little buff. Enigma, like we said, -7 on your opponent's cards, and then 35 on the round. Cambridge 5, when drawn, if your deck contains 5 espionage cards, wherever they are, they gain 25 until played. And if it's round 5, we get 30 until played, so that's nice. We opted for the little bit of rocket package here because of Vulcan. If your deck has 4 more espionage, your Radical Rockets get 25 until played. Long March, your Radical Rockets get 15, and then if you win, another 10 until played. Space Launch, another 18 until played on your rockets. We've got Soyuz, I'm not sure how to say that. When returned, Radical Rocket cards, wherever they are, -2 until for the round. John Glenn, another buff on our rockets, +10, and a little cost reduction. Gennady, or Gennady, however you say him. When played, your Space Technology and Radical Rockets gain +26 until played. Eris, your space cards, wherever they are, lose 10 perm, and then you gain 20 perm back on the return, so that's pretty good. Black Hole, nice card, just going to give us nice until played on our space cards. And then rounding out, Roanoke Colony, just a nice card for potential for +180 until played or -180 until played. All right, let's jump into a game here. Probably just do one since our intro was quite long. Unless we lose, then I don't know. Maybe we'll do 2. I don't know. But like I said, I fell down the rabbit hole pretty deep earlier. I had already known about the Rendlesham incident, but I didn't know that they went a little further with this binary code and actually solved some of these coordinates, like backing into where these coordinates were in 1980. So very interesting. Like I knew Giza was one of them, but I didn't know that they linked it all to this Fibonacci spiral, or I guess you call it like the golden rule. And then the fine structure constant, which is very interesting. So basically that whole area there is super laid out, almost precise to this. So, and it only happened in 1980 that it lined up so perfect. So the fact that we were given that information and, in 1980 at that specific point in time, like, what the heck, blows my mind. All right, well, not looking good here. We got taxed a little bit, so that's a little unfortunate for us. What are we up against? Got the Yule Cat. Yule Cat doing us dirty. All right, Enigma Machine triggering. So we need to get it down this round. Looks like we lost this round, so we don't need to do it. Maybe we save that then for Roswell incident. We probably lost this. I probably don't even need to play a whole lot. Let's just do this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, maybe Enigma would have got it for us, but no. Don't think it did. It's all right. This deck's more of a late game. Definitely gets a lot bigger as the game goes on. All right, we can get Roswell going now. Let's go ahead and do it. Get that buff. We can get Planet X down next turn, hopefully. Start getting these rockets bigger. All right. Looking decent. Ooh, we got a little tax off on him now. Haha, payback. A little payback. Played as Sidonia. Interesting. Surprised that's in the deck. It's kind of an odd inclusion there into a Festive Traditions deck. Probably a bot. Mac Boy. Sounds like a bot. All right, let's get our Rendlesham Forest going. We can do it like that. I think we got plenty enough to win this round. Next round's going to be a tough one. It is the festive tradition round, so not going to be good for us. We're probably just going to get smoked here. It's all right, though. We're going to try to set ourselves up for the following round since we know we're getting smoked. It's interesting. He's rocking Black Hole too, huh? Did he even have many space cards? Oh, let's see here. Do we even bother? And we'll play that. Next round should be good for us. We got the space technology round, so our space cards get that plus 10. Let's do it like that. Don't need to waste a bunch of cards here. Keep all these big hitters. Just want to get out of the festive traditions round since he's clearly going to win it. That's what kind of sucks about arenas. Sometimes you know they get the free round, so it's like you kind of got to play into it. All right, we're dropping some heavy stuff here. Let's go ahead and do that. This should set up our Roswell next turn. We'll do that. We might have this game. I think going into this last round, we're sitting pretty good. It's not a festive round, so that's always a plus. All right, we could probably save. Definitely want to save you for next round. We could play Goatman here, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to play Planet X too. And I might save Rendlesham for the last round of the game, since that'll buff it up 120. Next round. Make it nice and meaty. All right, here we go. Let's drop you, get that discount. Drop you, and we'll drop you. Minus 50 on... No, my Rendlesham big. Rude. All right, plus 25. There we go. That's better. All right, let's drop you. Let's just get all our big cards down. Go for the jugular. Might be a 2,000 point round here. That was 5. I think, what was the last turn? 6? 7? All right, what's our max here? What's this card? Plus 18. Drop you. And 766. I mean, I kind of want to play Rendlesham though, right? Because it's the showcase. I think we do it. We ain't losing this, are we? Got to showcase the Rendell. That was a pretty good last round there. What's our final there? Oh, neighbor's car alarm. That's cute. Almost 2,000. 1883. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the deck and the video. As always, thanks for watching. And hit that like button and that subscribe button.